Springs have been used throughout human history. The earliest prototype for a spring is in the form of the bow and arrow. From there, people started using tweezers, and eventually what we would think of as more traditional springs made their way into door locks and clocks in the 15th century. From there, springs have spread into literally countless applications.
Springs are used in the medical device industry, aerospace, firearms, defense, the automotive industry, as well as all kinds of commercial and industrial applications. They're used in landing gear, they're used in the missile guidance systems, they're used in handheld surgical devices, as well as many automotive applications going into seat belts, going into other components of the cars, the car doors, and a variety of other uses. If there were no springs, most of the devices in the world would not function. The springs create the force which run any kind of mechanical device throughout all types of different industries. Springs are used in all kinds of military applications, so all of the handguns and the rifles that our armed servicemen use overseas would not function without the springs in them. The landing gear on an airplane would not function. The medical device that they use on you in surgery when you're in the operating room would not function without a spring.
Although it may look simple in concept and design, you would be amazed how much math goes into the development of your average spring.
In the 1850s, that's when spring manufacturing really started taking off. The most critical function of the spring is the load, storing energy and releasing it as needed.
Fortunately nowadays, math, before they used to use the old slide ruler or math. Nowadays we have what they call program calculators that already have all of these mathematical functions in the program. So it's a lot easier to calculate the coils, the amount of wire that you need. One of the problems that a lot of the engineers have is not allowing for stresses that go into designing of the spring. If you have a spring that's overstressed, it will not last the cycles that it's supposed to require. Engineers like to see 10 million cycles on a spring to work, which is really infinite life.
Springs work because they are able to store mechanical energy and then release that energy on demand. Most people think of a spindly coil when they think of a spring. However, there are many different types of springs, and they all use the same basic theory.
Primary types of springs are extension, compression, and torsion springs. An extension spring will pull two parts back together. One example of an extension spring would be in a garage door closure, where when the door is closed, it extends the spring, and in order to return it to the upright position, the extension spring will carry a lot of the load to lift the door back. A compression spring, when compressed, will push two parts apart from each other. An example when a compression spring might be used might be in a door handle, where you turn the handle and it compresses two parts close together. The spring will return them to the original position so that the door can lock again. A torsion spring could be used in a door closure, so the spring force, like if you go into your kitchen, the spring that's returning the door back to the cabinet is a torsion spring.
One industry that often goes hand in hand with springs is stamping.
Metal stamping process basically starts with rolled steel material that is coiled up in various widths and thicknesses, and then it gets processed through what we call a progressive tool, which allows us to stamp various shapes and guttings into the part to get a desired result at the end. We'll make a strip first of what the progressions are going to be on the actual strip material, and then that gets converted into an assembly drawing, which then gets built into a tool and die progressive tool, which actually gets put into a press. The strip material that gets put into the die, and it gets stamped out to the desired effect. Metal stampings can be found in every aspect of even your home, from the casings on your refrigerator, to the doors that you have on your cars, to the small intricate devices that are even in your wristwatches and timepieces that you have in your house. It's a wide variety of products that the stamping industry provides for all the industries that are out there.